Right, then we're back again. Well, that was a good cough to start the podcast.
Sure was.
The hodling room.
So you're going to do a presentation to, is it farmers? A farmer?
A family of farmers.
Nice. And then it's like some other normal people as well. Like,
basically, there's a farm shop near me who are very, they're primed to be Bitcoiners. Basically, they're basically run like an organic farm shop, and they've already got this preordained distrust of banks and governments and that kind of thing. And when I go into their shop, they've been watching my YouTube as well, so they've got a lot of questions. And I basically said, I'll go over there and do them a PowerPoint presentation to the best of my ability of what Bitcoin is, and they provide the food.
nice.
They provide some pizzas, and we'll get a little night of it going on this local farm.
That sounds so good.
I
definitely do want to come.
Yeah, definitely come, because I'm going to need your backup if there's any Q&A.
Do you know when it is roughly?
It's up to me really, but I haven't finished the presentation yet. So we'll probably do it around, maybe this month or next month, but probably do it on an evening where everybody can do it, and there'll probably be about 10 people there. But
I bet our guy from the meetup will come as well.
Oh yeah, probably
100% he will.
But when I took our mate, don't need to dox him.
Should we just come up with a name for him?
Well, Chopper.
Oh yeah,
that is his name.
There we go.
When we took Chopper there the other day, he was saying that it's prime area for a Bitcoin meetup. Because it's on a farm in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
All of the food, they do food and ice cream and coffee and cakes and all that kind of stuff. It's all organic, it's all good stuff. So it would be a prime location. Why don't we just
do that as well?
Yeah, we could do that as well. Yeah,
and make another one.
We could make another one. Yeah, yeah. That is an interesting. Well, yeah. Leave it with me then.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sounds good.
So yeah, the presentation basically is I'm gonna base it around Bitcoin memes, and I'm gonna explain to the best of my ability, the fiat system, inflation, money printing, and Bitcoin via the power of memes. And I think that's probably the best way to do it. For example,
sounds good.
Nothing stops this train. I'm going to explain that meme and what it means with money printing, inflation, Bitcoin, not crypto, or there is no second best. Is going to explain why Bitcoin and why not shitcoins or any altcoins.
So that's what I was going to say. Is what would you say for Bitcoin, not crypto? Because I'm always interested to hear people's take on this.
I would say that there's no other cryptocurrency, quote unquote, that has first of all is there's no other cryptocurrency that is decentralized. That's it. That's one of the biggest things. Every single other coin has got a CEO, a shareholder, or whereas Bitcoin doesn't. There's no central head. There's no office. There's no there's no centralized point with Bitcoin, which is what separates it from all the rest. That would be the biggest one for me. What do you think?
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's I'm putting my best crypto bro Casper vibes on. Like someone from Casper would 100% be like, but Casper is decentralized.
But then I would also say that the network, no other coin has got the security of the Bitcoin network, which is like what I don't even know how many the hash rate at the minute, but it's the largest computer network in the world, and it's decentralized, so therefore it's the most secure. And yeah, all the others seem to just be people that are trying to one up or try to make Bitcoin better. They try to improve Bitcoin in a certain way. But I mean, there is no, this is the thing. There is no second best. You can't, because Bitcoin is the network, and there's no network which comes anywhere close. I was reading the other day that the guy who invented Litecoin, he is even come out now. He's sold all his Litecoin, but he even says, I wish I never invented it. I wish I just bought Bitcoin.
Yeah, he just said it the other day, didn't he?
It's like,
this is
okay, Casper Bros. You might have think it's better, but you haven't got the network, so you've not got the security, and if you've not got the security, then you've got nothing. And it's like, it isn't decentralized because you still had a founder of Casper. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know much about Casper, but no other crypto has, as far as I know, not been like pre-mined and doesn't have this kind of immaculate conception like Bitcoin does.
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly what
and
I say.
And the infrastructure's
well.
already in place, as you've said before. Like, we've already got these miners and these nodes. Like, you're not to beat Bitcoin now, you're going to have to replace all that. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I think the big thing for me is always the protocol. Like, if you get your head around the protocol, then that kind of explains everything. So I did one video like purely on this, and it is exactly like what you say. The protocol, for me, the thing that clicked for me is not just like the winner takes all, and whereas like technology winner takes most, which you hear Jeff Booth saying all the time. It was actually like the infrastructure that is part of the protocol, sort of thing. As in, a protocol is a set of rules, and then once those rules are made, that is it. Like that. So that's the starting point. But then that doesn't mean it's going to be like, that means nothing. You could create a set of rules around anything, sort of thing. But what makes it really special is that it's got the infrastructure. So like you say, the miners, the nodes, but then also there's other layers on top of it. So things like the Lightning Network, Nostr, Fediment, there's all these different things that are being built on top of Bitcoin. And each thing that is happening, like you say as well, is the network effect. You can't, like, as in, and you may as well beat your head against a brick wall trying to explain this to the Casper Bros. So I had a couple of Casper Bros come into that video on the protocol, and I was like, this is perfect. Just watch this video. Like, I've explained why Bitcoin is superior, but like, they still don't get it. It's like, but I'm like, yeah, no, but the tech, man, like the Ghost Dag, like, it can't scale anything like it. The thing is, though, as well, what I think they don't think they understand, they just haven't worked out these numbers out, which I have done it before, but it's hard to like just say this on the fly without having it in front of you. But the point is that Casper does not scale worldwide. Like, if everyone just used Casper as money today, they would need a layer 2.
Oh, right.
So the big part, like, it doesn't scale for all of the layer 1 payments. And the big selling point of Casper is that it scales, and it's faster than Bitcoin. You can do all the payments, so you can just do it all on layer 1. It's like, but it doesn't. You're going to need a layer 2 at one point. And so it's like, so it's got nothing. It's literally got nothing then. Like, that was its one selling point, and that doesn't even work. So what's your selling point now? Like, and it's just like and like you say as well, with the amount of miners, the hash rate and things like that. Even this guy that I was having this chat with on that same video, I was like, here's the hash rate for Bitcoin. Just Google it yourself and find a different one if you want. And here's the amount of nodes that are currently existing. Here's the amount of users that currently use Bitcoin. Here's all the data. And again, go and Google it yourself. Can you show me the same thing with Casper? Because I've Googled it, and I can't find anything for it that's open or showing it, because then we can compare apples to apples and see what is the hash rate of Bitcoin, what's the hash rate of Casper, how many people are actually using it, and then we can start having a discussion. It's just then nothing. I can't find anything on it. So
I think a common misconception is people see it as, okay, it was the first one, but there will be newer ones and better ones. They compare it to MySpace, don't they? They say, well, look at MySpace. Well, exactly.
That's the key.
They
that they
say
miss.
look at MySpace. That was massive. That was the first, but now it's dead. Now we've got TikTok and whatnot. But I think Jeff Booth mentions this. He says, well, as you're going into you explain it's a protocol, so it's different to just another form of tech. That 0 to 1 moment is a lot different than the 1 to everything else moment.
So I think
and Bitcoin was the 0 to 1 moment.
And what a lot of people miss though, and because it does make sense logically when you say what you just said about like the MySpace and it's the first one. It's not the first. They tried, what was there, B Money?
Yeah.
There's literally many attempts before this, and all that Bitcoin, all that Satoshi did is put those attempts together and found a way to make it actually decentralized, actually work without anyone doing anything. What were you saying?
What about why it's not MySpace?
Oh yeah. So like obviously Bitcoin, B Money, all of that, like, and he's just put them together and found a way to actually solve the double spending problem. That was the 0 to 1, and you can't do it again. And this is what I keep trying to explain to people, but it's really hard to. Is that it's the way that I would describe it is like someone figuring out how to make fire. Like once you have figured out how to make fire, that's it. You can't create better fire and then be like, look, I've made better fire. Like fire is just fire. And like that's the thing with Bitcoin is that really the big breakthrough, the one thing people need to get their head around is the double spending problem. Bitcoin solved that for the first time without any central authority doing it. Whereas that's never happened before. That has literally never happened. So it's massive. And like, sure, you could do it again. You could solve that same problem again. Like, sure, you could make the internet again, but it's like, but with all the infrastructure, the miners can't just start running Casper. They can't just switch to another network. They are solely there to mine Bitcoin.
With every, it's not like MySpace either, because with every day that Bitcoin continues, the blockchain gets bigger and the proof of work gets bigger, therefore it gets more secure. So you're going to have to create a more secure proof of work network, which you're not going to be able to do because Bitcoin's got 16 years on you and it's got 900,000 blocks. So every day that it goes by, it gets more secure. And every day it goes by, more nodes go on the network, so it gets more decentralized. So
and more users join.
Bitcoin gets better and better every single day.
Exactly.
It gets more secure every day. It gets more users every day. It gets more kind of in people's minds, more recognition every single day because more people are using it. It gets more adopted every single day. So it's not like MySpace where something can get outdated. You know, MySpace is almost like a layer 2 on the internet protocol.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay.
Should be comparing Bitcoin to the internet, not to MySpace.
Rather than a website. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is exactly
so.
It. And I think that was the point as well, where that made the Casper guy just stop. Is that I was like, you don't only have to catch up to Bitcoin today. You have to catch up to Bitcoin whenever it is that you're catching up to it. And Bitcoin is exponentially growing. Like it's not, it's like, just look at, I think that was the thing I said. It's like, just look at the hash rate and just look at the nodes and look at the users. Do any of these charts look like it's slowing down or plateauing or if it does, then fair enough. Maybe we're looking at different things, but
no,
to me, it doesn't look like that. And this is 80% cuts. It grows. This is going up 10 times. It grows. It doesn't matter. Like when you look at the hash rate in particular, that was a massive eye opener for me. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, like hash rate increases during these bear markets. Like, you know, if people were genuinely worried, they'd be turning off their miners when Bitcoin goes down 80%. But they almost double down. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It seems, again, it almost seems too easy. It seems too obvious. And I think that's what most people have a hard time with.
Yeah. So yeah, there is no second best, as they say.
Yeah.
I'm trying
What
to
other
think what other
memes are
meme.
there?
I'll have to pull it up. I do nothing stops this train. Not your keys, not your coins. Basically, to go into the whole private key, public key, cryptography side of things. Let me check. 'Cause I've got it on my phone. Money printer go burr is one.
Yeah.
Fix the money, fix the world. Is I'm going to go
100%.
into that. Don't
That's
trust
Larry Lepard, isn't it?
Yeah, don't trust verify. Where I'm going to go into basically the proof of work, the whole blockchain thing, and how you even mortal enemies, can still exchange within Bitcoin. It doesn't matter because it doesn't require any trust whatsoever. And then I'll probably go into how, if trust is required at any point, it's going to get violated, and we're seeing that in the current system. Be your own bank. So I'm going to go into the idea of self custody again, not requiring any third party, and then stay humble, stack sats. So hopefully, and with stay humble, stack sats, I'm probably going to go into that it's nothing to do with trading assets or trading coins and making a profit. It's a completely different system, and the idea is moving your energy, your time from the fiat system to a new system entirely, which is Bitcoin, an entirely new currency. So the best way, in my opinion, is stay humble, stack sats, rather than trying to. It's not about trading for profit. There's no point you're going to sell for fiat.
Yeah.
So basically, the presentation is based around that stuff.
Yeah, that's actually a conversation I had yesterday with a friend that I knew from Qatar, actually, who called me, and he was very much like that same thing. It's like, well, so when are you going to sell it? Like, when are you going to take the profits? Like, you're not. Like, that's missing the point. Like, the point is that it will be the way that you receive. That's how you will receive value, and that's how you will send value. And that already exists in certain parts of the world. And he was very much like, yeah, but I think it was like, it's not going to happen. It's like, but it's already happening. It's not a case of if it can happen. If you live in Madeira, if you live in Bitcoin jungle, if you live in South Africa in certain places, there's tons of places popping up more and more around the world. Whereas if you live there, you literally don't need a bank account, and you can buy and receive anything that you want, sort of thing. And it's just, I think that's the bit where I'd say most Bitcoiners still don't really believe or have their head around. And it's like, and even with what you're doing with the farmers as well, it's like you could live anywhere in the world, and if you can just find enough people where, if you find farmers where you can buy food, that's huge. Because what do you need? Like shelter, and then food, and maybe some clothes.
Yeah.
So if you can
create your own circular economy,
exactly, and that's it. Then you are living on a Bitcoin standard, and like if you can then find a way to get paid in Bitcoin, then that's it. You've done it. You are now living fully on Bitcoin, and it's not. I don't think it's a huge step away. It's just finding a few people that you can buy food from, really, and then that's pretty much it.
And it's almost like talking to people that are already further along that path than you.
Yeah. Like just go to a few meetups and stuff, and you'll learn tons. You'll find massive ways that you can do stuff, but it's uncomfortable. It's not just listening to a podcast. Like you just listen to these. If I listen to TC and Mike, then I'm doing my bit for Bitcoin. It's like, wouldn't just go and physically go somewhere and see people in real, and you will learn 10 times more. And I get it though. It's like, because I haven't done it. It's only in the summer this year that I even did it for the first time. And it's like, why have I not done this sooner? It's that real connection sort of thing, and the real when you meet someone in person, you always get the best bits, really.
Yep. Moral of the story: find your local meetup, and then meet some knowledgeable nerds.
Or create one, like what you're doing.
Or create one, yeah. And there we go. That's my. If you can think of any other memes, have you got any others that you think would be worth?
Probably, I mean, there's tons, but yeah, that's like the main ones for Bitcoin, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to put in like "have fun staying poor."
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that basically.
Well, yeah. What's the sailor one? Like, never sell your Bitcoin.
Never sell your Bitcoin. Yeah,
but again, I don't really like that one.
No, I'm not a fan either. Yeah,
because
well, you go into not selling it for fiat, but you can
spend it.
Yeah, you spend it, not rather than sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people still have the question though on taxes with that, and I do get it. I get it. It does suck in a lot of countries in the world. But even like what you were saying earlier is that in the UK you get £3,000 capital gains tax allowance. Like there's usually, it's not like you have to spend tons. It's just by spending some that is the proof that it works, and like proof that you're getting somewhere. Whenever I went to the Bury St Edmunds meetup, whatever it was, conference, whatever you call it, and bought some tea and some fudge and gave them to like parents and stuff. It's like, here's some Bitcoin fudge and here's some Bitcoin. I always say that, like, this is Bitcoin tea. And like my mum and dad would just roll their eyes. I
hoped you declared that disposal of an asset to HMRC.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I haven't really even thought. But that's the thing as well, is that if you just try and use one app I think I use Strike for that. So if you just try and use one app, like Strike just has all of your like monthly
activity
statements.
Yeah.
So you can literally just download that, give that to your accountant, and there you are. You're done. Yeah, that's your tax done. Like it doesn't have to be this huge thing. I think some people get really worked up about it. To be fair, I haven't done, like I say, I've only been back in the UK for a couple of years, so this will be my first tax year. I don't know how that's actually going to go. Like, I think in the UK it takes like your average purchase price or something.
Really? Okay.
And so when you sell, it goes back to where your average is. So I don't even know how I'm going to work that out. Like, because I have been buying and selling ship coins and Bitcoin since like 2017, but I wasn't living in the UK at that time, so it's like, I don't know how to figure that out. It's like, do I have to?
I don't know.
Does that count during that time, or like
that would be an accountant question, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I do get it. I do get the headache, but I think as soon as you have done 1 year's worth of tax returns, then that's it. It should just be easy. Just use Strike or use one app and try and keep it consistent.
Is it Coinly, or there is some kind of
Coinly helps with it, doesn't it?
Crypto, thing. But I mean, we'll see.
Like I say, it'll be my first year, but I do need to sort that out soon. I can't believe it's October.
I know.
A couple of months left.
The days are getting shorter and colder.
Such a British thing. I wonder if other people say that in other countries. I can't believe it's October.
I don't know. Probably not. Oh, there we go. Is it? Can you see the full screen this time, or is that done the same thing again?
It's still zoomed in for me, but maybe that's just on my side. Is it not for you?
No, it's zoomed in. It's zoomed in on this side as well.
Oh.
I guess it don't matter.
No, it's only a little bit, isn't it? It's only a little bit cut off.
So we're on chapter, is it 7? I think we're on 7, yeah. Sound money and individual freedom. We're not doing too bad.
Nice. So,
Shall I have a read?
yeah, I can't quite see the whole screen. I mean, I could read
Okay.
from the book though.
I'll read and you butt in whenever you want.
Okay.
Right, so Murray Rothbard concurs with Mises. So this follows on from the previous Mises quote. A world of constant money supply would be one similar to that of much of the 18th and 19th centuries, marked by the successful flowering of the Industrial Revolution, with increased capital investment increasing the supply of goods and with falling prices for those goods as well as falling costs of production. According to the Austrian view, if the money supply is fixed, then economic growth will cause prices of real goods and services to drop, allowing people to purchase increasing quantities of goods and services with their money in the future. I've got hiccups. Such a world would indeed discourage immediate consumption, as the Keynesians fear, but encourage saving and investment for the future, where more consumption can happen. For a school of thought steeped in high time preference, it is understandable that Keynes could not understand that increased savings' impact on consumption in any present moment is more than outweighed by the increases in spending caused by the increased savings of the past. A society which constantly defers consumption will actually end up being a society that consumes more in the long run than a low savings society, since the low time preference society invests more, thus producing more income for its members. Even with a larger percentage of their income going to savings, the low time preference societies will end up having higher levels of consumption in the long run, as well as a larger capital stock. So what he's saying here, this reminds me of Jeff Booth saying, this sounds like a deflationary free market, as Jeff Booth talks about.
Exactly.
If society were a little girl in that marshmallow experiment, Keynesian economics seeks to alter the experiment so that waiting would punish the girl by giving her half a marshmallow instead of two, making the entire concept of self-control and low time preference appear counterproductive. Indulging immediate pleasures is the more likely course of action economically, and that will then reflect on culture and society at large. The Austrian school, on the other hand, by preaching sound money, recognizes the reality of the trade-off that nature provides humans, and that if the child waits, there will be more reward for her, making her happier in the long run, encouraging her to defer her gratification to increase it. Yeah, it basically boils down to that, doesn't it? That simple marshmallow analogy. It's like, do you want one now? Well, in a free market, if you don't take that one now, you can get two tomorrow. That makes sense. Whatever you save today is going to be worth more in the future.
Yeah.
Whereas in this current Keynesian money printing system, it's like, do you want one now? Because by tomorrow, that's going to be rotted and, half as big. So you best eat it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think everyone is subconsciously aware of this as well.
Yeah.
And even like I was saying in the last episode, it's not even, I don't think it's even just that. It's the fact that it almost gives a less of an incentive to actually do work. It's not only that you're going to be able to buy less in the future, it's that, well, I suppose it's part of the same thing. It's like which one is the symptom and which one's the cause or whatever. But like, because you can only buy half in the future, what is the incentive to do any work now? Because it's just like, well, what's the point? Like, I'm never going to, as long as you can eat and have a roof over your head sort of thing, then it's like, well, what is the point? And I think this is where the whole story that I've used before or told you before about the girl at a school that I worked at who just wanted to get knocked up so she could get a house and stuff. It's like, but that's where the incentive is.
Yes,
there are huge incentives to not doing any work.
Yeah,
because then you can just get sorted out by the government. Whereas if that wasn't there, then
exactly,
there has to be the incentive to work, sort of thing. Like we're living in such a weird time where
it's almost
this has
completely,
never really existed before.
completely backwards and completely inverted, really. And it's
crazy.
like it's anti-human flourishing and it's anti-human innovation, and it's weird. Yeah, very weird.
There's no incentive to save and invest for the, or like save and hold something for the future, or
innovate, or invest, or work, or move, or do anything.
Again, this is something else I've tried to explain to friends before, but it's like the thing is as well is that in a sound money system, but there was sort of, I think their argument, this part was like, but people are just going to, but people are not going to work in that system, because if everything just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper, and then they're going to keep losing their job anyway, because AI takes over everything, and it will be like, well, so what? Like, what are people just gonna like cause? Going to vandalize and look? They're sort of saying like, look at what happens now when like hardly anyone's working. It's like, no, the incentive will be to create serious value, because only value will get rewarded. So, and it will be more normal to do that sort of thing. And then when you create real value, you can employ people to help you out with that. So again, there's like an incentive to employ good people to actually help. And just the work ethic, everything will change because the incentives will change. It obviously won't be overnight, but eventually when people will actually realize this, that's what will happen.
It's weird because in this money printing system, you could be able to incentivize anything you want, because you can basically print money and throw it at whatever you want. So if you wanted to, you could be like, all right, well, we're going to incentivize people to have kids. We're going to incentivize people to, work more. That the incentives in this system could go wherever they want. It could be used for good. But it's actually, they've disincentivized people to work. As we were saying in the previous one, it's so hard to run a business now because there's so many costs and there's so many licenses and all this stuff. And the capital gains tax was $6,000 limit a couple of years ago. Now it's 3. It's going down to 1. So that's disincentivized anybody to actually take any risks and innovate in business. But if you, as you used with that girl that you used to teach, it's incentivized people to not work and just get knocked up, So the incentives could go anywhere. They could throw this free money printing money at business owners and that kind of stuff, but they're not. They're thrown at random crap instead. So that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, but
it does make sense because it's power. That's why they can't let that out the bag, because they would lose the power and the control by letting that happen. Like the state becomes irrelevant in a true global free market.
Yes, exactly. You could say like, right, okay, for each, we're going to make this country flourish. So for each, each kid you have, then we will pay off, percentage of your mortgage, or we will give you this amount of money as a Kickstarter to raise that kid, rather than having this mindset at the minute where people are like, oh, it's too expensive to have kids, and well, that's just going to destroy the society if nobody's having kids.
Yeah,
that just a who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that is kind of what's happening. And I don't think that the people that are in control of that really care about destroying society. I think that's almost a good thing, because then they're going to come back. This is my point. Like, feed me with UBIs, man.
If you've got a money printer, you can literally incentivize good things or bad things. So my point is, they could incentivize whatever they want. They could incentivize organic foods, but no, they incentivize seed oils and sugar.
True.
They could
That's what the subsidies go to. Yeah,
they could exactly. They could subsidize, anything they want because they've got this money printer, but they incentivize shite. and anti-human flourishing subsidies. So things that make you go,
You
interesting.
can see, what is it called, black pill or something?
Yeah.
You can see how people get black pilled, can't you? Like as soon as you start digging that rabbit hole.
Exactly.
And I do remember before Bitcoin, that is kind of where my mindset was. I was like, what is, like, this is terrible. Like, what, like, there is no bright future at all. There's only bad that can happen here. And then Bitcoin gives that actual hope, like, of what could happen. And again, I keep saying this at the minute, but I think a lot of people think this is some distant future. Whereas if you just spend all of your time in Bitcoin and you use Bitcoin, then it's not a distant future. It's like right now. It's like,
it's
in
present.
Today.
It's a reality.
And it was already happening for people that do this. It's not. I think it literally, all that matters is when you personally do it. But obviously, it's not instant. It's not like, oh yeah, I just put my money in Bitcoin and then that's it. Because probably, like I say, probably this next year there's going to be some. If this spiral thing does happen, then Bitcoin is going to get sold. One of the first things to get sold, because that needs to pay for whatever the default and the issues are that people are having. So,
who needs to sell it? Do you mean?
Well, it will be everyone. Everyone will be selling everything. Like, when this happens, like, as soon as that spiral happens, if you just think about it logically, if people are, if you've lost your job and you need to put food on the table for your kids, you need to sell something. Like, how else are you actually going to do it? So if you own some Bitcoin, or own some stocks, or own some
you're
gold,
talking about the interest rates going up in the previous people with mortgages and whatnot.
Before that happens, they're very likely to come down. They're very likely to almost go back to zero, probably zero. Okay. And that is when they be like, money printer, like that. That's really where it will start happening.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, that's when inflation will go
be about
crazy.
18 months.
Yeah. And again, most people just don't think it's going to happen to them. They think that they live in the UK or Australia or the US or wherever it is in the Western world. Venezuela can't happen here. Argentina can't happen here, because somehow the Western world is superior. But it is literally the exact same thing.
Yeah,
it's just at a different pace. But it's literally the same direction that we're all going in. It's just, what time is it when we hit that wall, sort of thing. And there will be crazy inflation at some point. That there is no other way out, and it's not a way out. It will be disastrous. It will be horrendous if hyperinflation happens in the US or the UK. If it happened in the US, it would happen everywhere. The US dollar will be the last one to go, sort of thing. But it would be catastrophic. There'd be rioting, looting of shops, like, because people could not feed themselves. And so what are people going to do? Just stay at home and be like, oh well, we're slowly wasting away.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're going to go in.
It'll be zombie apocalypse. Yeah,
exactly. And so that's why the interest rates spike so quickly and can happen so quickly, because the powers that be know they can't let the hyperinflation happen. Deflation is the worst thing for it to happen with their currency. Hyperinflation is the second worst thing.
Yeah.
So that's the situation.
As you were saying, the civil unrest would be so mental in that kind of situation.
Whereas anyone that had their time and energy in Bitcoin is literally safe
immune
from it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see them using it almost as a tool to get in this UBI, CBDC, they will come in with their fix. So, we've got it for you here. We've got a more stable currency. It's digital. It's not, it's backed by whatever. You can have it for free. Here's 5,000 quid's worth of free CBDC digital currency so you can buy some bread.
Well, there you go. That is the exact situation. Is like everything's becoming unaffordable. They don't have a job. I can't feed my family. What can I do? Someone help me. That is literally what will be happening. Literally, like the jail cell that Jeff Booth always says, is literally shaking the jail cell, saying, "Captor, save me! I'm dying." Whereas the door's open over there, mate. Like, you literally just have to walk through that door with the big orange logo and the big B sign on, and then you're fine. It literally is that black and white, and it's really frustrating seeing people like struggle and not see it.
Yeah,
so it's right there. The door's right
there. We were saying on the previous episode about your friend that you're close mates with who just doesn't get it.
Yeah,
you're almost like, I've thought about saying that to another friend of mine who I'm in the same situation as him, really, and he basically had a business that was doing well, but then suddenly wasn't doing well for whatever reason. And then he had to get a job at Amazon as a delivery driver. And he's been doing that for about 18 months and he hates it. He absolutely hates it every single day. He says, like, he'll get home at night and he'll have nightmares about delivering parcels to people. Then he'll wake up and he'll have to go and deliver parcels to people. And then, and he says, man, like, it's one of those jobs where he's employed by this company. He works for like a company that is what's the word? They're hired by Amazon, but he doesn't work for Amazon directly. It's like they're outsourced. He works for this company which is outsourced, but he's technically self-employed. So they get the benefit of an employee, but he doesn't get the benefits of being an employee, i.e. he doesn't get holiday pay or sick pay or pension or anything like this. It's almost, and the contract is basically 0 hours. So they can just say, "Oh, you've not got no work today." Yeah, exactly. So it's really rubbish and exploitative, and he hates it. And I'm like, bro, like, you need to start buying some Bitcoin. But I don't think he's there. So I thought, how can I get this guy into this? Because he hates this job. He needs to start buying some Bitcoin. I thought of going up to him and being like, look, I want you to start buying £5 a week of Bitcoin. That's it. Set it up on strike, standing order, forget about it, because you can afford £5 a week. If after a year you don't want that Bitcoin, I'll buy it back off you for whatever it costs then. Or if it's worth less than what you paid, I'll buy it off you for what you paid. Just to the point of getting him a little bit of a bag going. That's because he needs that life raft.
To be fair, this would probably be a good year to do it. Like if the price of Bitcoin does go down, then you actually could physically give him the money and be like, there you go, now put that in Bitcoin as well, and let's have the same agreement for this next year, and then that year will go like 100%, and
like it's almost like it's a no risk at all thing for him. And then if you're not pleased with it, well, I'll buy it back off you. But there we go. It's almost like, as you said on the previous one, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah, that's it. I think
Anyway.
I've heard some podcast of this before, probably Jeff Booth, but someone saying something like, all we can really do though is just be like the beacon of light. So when there is that dark time, you're not going to be able to save everyone, and that's okay. But just by you doing it, then when that dark time comes for that person, and it might be at a completely different time for everyone, you could just you might just be there to be able to then be like, here's what's happening. Like if they see that your life is getting significantly better whilst theirs is getting significantly worse,
Yeah.
then you can just be like open and on it, and not have to be like, oh, you should have listened to me or whatever. Like that's not helpful. But like, you know, just actually genuinely being there, sort of thing, and just showing them by like showing what you've done. Like personally, that is it. Which is exactly like what your channel is all about, which is why I think so many people are like related to it.
There we go. Follow now the Road to 1 Bitcoin on YouTube and Bitcoin Straight Up on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe.
I hate doing that stuff. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
Like, I've never noticed you do that.
No. It's like if people are going to like it, they'll like it.
Exactly. That's the way I see it.
If people are going to subscribe, they'll subscribe. You know.
I think it's a very US thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a British thing to do.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's a bit cringe, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so normal to be sold to in the US, whereas it's still taboo in the UK, really.
Yeah. Right then, crack on.
Yeah.
Can you still see that, or is that still zoomed in?
Still zoomed in. Which bit are we up to? A currency that appreciates.
When the value of money appreciates.
I can read it from the book.
Yeah, helps. Go on then. Yeah.
When the value of money appreciates, people are likely to be far more discerning with their consumption and to save far more of their income for the future. The culture of conspicuous consumption, of shopping as therapy, of always needing to replace cheap plastic crap with newer, flashier, cheap plastic crap will not have a place in a society with a money which appreciates in value over time. It's a man after my own heart, safe, I can tell. Yeah. Such a world would cause people to develop a lower time preference, as their monetary decisions will orient their actions toward the future, teaching them to value the future more and more. We can thus see how such a society would cause people not only to save and invest more, but also to be morally, artistically, and culturally oriented toward the long-term future. We should really just read the book, because he's just saying the same thing we've been saying, but more concise. A currency that appreciates in value incentivizes saving, as savings gain purchasing power over time. Hence, it encourages deferred consumption, resulting in lower time preference. A currency that depreciates in value. Also, if you're listening and you're not sure what lower time preference means, that just basically means you think about the future more. A higher time preference is thinking about right now more.
Yeah, it's like instant gratification versus deferred gratification. I always get those confused. So high time preference is now. Low time preference.
The future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the better one is the low time preference.
Yeah, it is a bit confusing actually, isn't it? So a currency that depreciates in value, on the other hand, leaves citizens constantly searching for returns to beat inflation. Returns that must come with a risk, and so leads to an increase in investment in risky projects and an increased risk tolerance among investors, leading to increased losses. Societies with money of stable value generally develop a low time preference, learning to save and think of the future, while societies with high inflation and depreciating economies will develop high time preference as people lose track of the importance of saving and concentrate on immediate enjoyment. Someone actually said that in a video on a comment of mine. It was like, you make us like not even worry about what the price is. Like you just concentrate on buying it and thinking of the future. And that was my response, was like lowering people's time preference one video at a time.
Yeah.
Further, an economy with an appreciating currency would witness investment only in projects that offer a positive real return over the rate of appreciation of money, meaning that only projects expected to increase society's capital stock will tend to get funded. By contrast, an economy with a depreciating currency incentivizes individuals to invest in projects that offer positive returns in terms of the depreciating currency, but negative real returns.
So by contrast, an economy with a depreciating currency, which is like ours, incentivizes individuals to invest in projects that offer positive returns in terms of the depreciating currency, but negative real returns. Yeah.
So that is property. Yeah. This is property investment in the UK right now. That is exactly it. So, and it's so hard again for people to get their head around. Like, if you invest in property, sure, your number might go up, but it's lost 90% in the last 3 years
when compared to Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's gold. I assume even will probably be close to.
Yeah, gold has gone crazy, hasn't it? So
yeah,
was it 4,000? Yeah, gold was probably doubled since there, whereas Bitcoin has gone from 15 to 120. So Bitcoin is 6x'd, whereas gold is probably 2.5x'd.
Yeah,
but yeah, same. The projects that beat inflation do not offer positive real returns, effectively reduce society's capital stock, but are nonetheless a rational alternative for investors because they reduce their capital slower than the depreciating currency. These investments are what Ludwig von Mises terms malinvestments, unprofitable projects and investments that only appear profitable during the period of inflation and artificially low interest rates. Property. And whose unprofitable
meme coins.
Yeah.
Shit coins.
The stock market as well, to be honest, at the moment. And whose unprofitability will be exposed as soon as inflation rates drop and interest rates rise. Inflation rates drop. So inflation comes down and interest rates rise, causing the bust part of the boom and bust cycle. As Mises puts it, the boom squanders through malinvestments, scarce factors of production, and reduces the stock available through overconsumption. Its alleged blessings are paid for by impoverishment. This exposition helps explain why Austrian school economists are more favourable to the use of gold as money, while Keynesian mainstream economists support the government's issuance of elastic money that can be expanded at the government's behest. For Keynesians, the fact that the whole world's central banks run on fiat currencies is testament to the superiority of their ideas. For Austrians, on the other hand, the fact that governments have to resort to coercive measures of banning gold as money and enforcing payment in fiat currencies is at once testament to the inferiority of fiat money and its inability to succeed in a free market. It is also the root cause of all business cycles, booms and busts. While the Keynesian economists have no explanation for why recessions happen other than invoking animal spirits, Austrian school economists have developed the only coherent theory that explains the cause of business cycles, the Austrian theory of the business cycle. What's the whole animal spirits again? I'm actually just reading the big print at the minute, and I think in the chapter I read last night he just spoke about that. But what does it mean again? I should know.
Let's have a look. Have you got? Hang on, where have you gone? Oh, here we go. This goes right to the heart of the difference between Austrian economics and Keynesian thinking. So animal spirits is a Keynesian concept coined by John Maynard Keynes in The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. It refers to human emotions, instincts and confidence that drive economic decision-making, especially investment and consumption. Keynes used it to explain why markets can deviate from rational equilibrium. People invest or spend not purely based on logic or data, but on optimism, fear, herd behavior and mood. Okay. When animal spirits are high, people spend and invest more. When they collapse, people hoard cash, causing recessions. So Keynes argued that government spending and central bank policy were needed to stimulate demand to revive these spirits. So it kind of means like if people are that economy is driven by people's feelings and emotions. If people are scared, then they're going to hoard cash more. They're going to prep more for shit hitting the fan. If things are feeling good, they're going to spend more. They're going to go on holiday and go out more. Therefore, you need a central policy to almost keep everything in check and stable, because you can't plan for people's emotions. I guess that's what it means. It says the Austrian view here. Ludwig von Mises and later Hayek rejected this whole psychological framing. For Mises, human action, praxeology, already is guided by subjective values and expectations, but these are not random emotions. He believed markets naturally coordinate these subjective preferences through price signals, not through state manipulation. When Keynesians talk about animal spirits, Austrians see it as a vague excuse for interventionism, i.e. the government trying to manage moods instead of addressing the real distortions caused by fiat, credit, and artificial interest rates. Yeah, so it's almost like the Keynesians are feeding economic antidepressants to society in order to stabilize, because these kind of ups and downs, which are natural to people, they don't like them, so they're trying to just artificially stabilize things. But as I said in the previous one, when you have this central authority artificially stabilizing things, under the surface, it creates a fragility, because those cracks have to appear somewhere. And then after a while, the whole thing collapses because they've just been kind of artificially pushed beneath the surface.
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin. There we go.
It's it's so hard to see and have other people not see it. I find that so much at the minute. It's so frustrating, especially with things like digital IDs starting to happen and all of that sort of stuff. It's happening. This is happening.
Yeah.
Everything that could be happening is happening, and it's speeding up. The change of stuff. It's only 5 years ago that COVID happened, and it's just look how much stuff is changing. How is this acceptable to have digital IDs in a Western country, or in any country, but?
Well, it's like, as you were saying, people can't get it around their head. It's like hyperinflation would never happen in the West.
Yeah,
it's like, that's a Venezuelan thing or whatever, But it's like, no, a social credit system would never happen in the West. That's the Chinese thing, It's like, well, it's
exactly.
It's here.
Yeah,
it's getting here. So it's like
it's literally knocking on the door right now.
There's no this idea that you've got in your head that it could never happen here. Well, why? Why? Because we're so free and because we're so
the
advanced.
Money is exactly the same. How can it possibly not happen here? That's more my question. Give me a reason why it can't happen here.
Yeah,
and then
because
we've
got we're these hyper moral democratic Western states. It's like the people that think that are just completely brainwashed. It's like, the UK could never do anything wrong. America could never do anything wrong. The land of the free. And all this interventionist government, it's like we're just toppling regimes in the Middle East, because they're oppressive over there. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Which goes on to the next part of the chapter is unsound money and perpetual war. That's literally the next. So stay tuned for that, folks. That'll be a good one.
I'm not into politics much because none of them talk about fixing the money. Although someone who did come across my radar recently do you remember Liz Truss, who was like Liz Truss, who was in charge for like 60 days or something ridiculous?
Yeah.
I listened to something from her the other day. I was like, I think she might get it. Like, and it
Really?
explains why she was only there for 60 days.
Right.
I
Interesting.
feel, and I
Okay.
think I've seen her in the like the Bitcoin space somewhere before, or like seen her name floated around. So it's like, mate, this explains a lot why she was only there.
Right.
But like, also, how did she get that far to become
Yeah.
prime minister? Like, but it's you know, if someone like Ron Paul ran now, I think it would be really interesting to see like what kind of backing they'd get in with like. I feel like a lot of people do know more now.
Yeah. Whether you can fix it from within, I don't know.
It can't be fixed from within the system, but it can. I think it can severely help having someone that gets it severely. Like Trump doesn't get it. Trump doesn't get Bitcoin, but he gets it. He gets he can make himself some money.
Yeah, he's a shitcoiner.
He is a shitcoiner. Like the whole of his team doesn't really quite get it, but there are people in the White House now that do get Bitcoin.
I'm sure he might get it. You know, he probably holds a lot of personal Bitcoin himself.
Yeah, but he also holds shitcoin, so he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
But what I'm saying is, he might be the kind of person to exploit people and shill his own personal shitcoin to, but in his own personal wealth, he'll hold Bitcoin. So he's fine with shitcoining the people and then rug pulling them to make a few hundred million. But I was reading somewhere that he's got a lot of Bitcoin personally, so he might get it, but he's using it to his personal advantage rather than, you know, I don't know. Still, I never trust these politicians, even if they're
No, exactly. Do you know?
Even if they're projected as good or bad, it's like wrestling. It's like, oh, this is the good wrestler.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the wrestler we're meant to hate.
Yeah,
and this is the wrestler we're meant to love. It's like, yeah, but you're watching wrestling, bro.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's so true. Do you know Peter McCormack?
Yeah, he's got a podcast, hasn't he?
I think he has got a slightly different one. He used to do the What Bitcoin Did one with other bald guy. But he's from like Bedford, and I think I sent you a Noster of his
the other bald guy.
Yeah,
that.
don't know what his name. I can't remember his name. Danny or something. Anyway, he but he has got his own podcast. I think it's just called the Peter McCormack podcast or something. But he's been speaking a lot to like politicians and stuff, and I just wonder whether he's trying to get his foot in the door, because that I seriously think it would be huge for like whatever country you live in. If you've got someone that is a Bitcoiner that actually understands it, you know, like imagine having like Bukalele or whatever his name is, the El Salvador guy. He gets it. He really gets it. You listen to his stuff, and probably more than me, to be fair. If you have someone like that in your own country, that is massive. It really is. It's huge. It could significantly impact your life, having someone like that in your own. And that's what I mean, is like how Bitcoin doesn't really care about politics or anyone or anything like that, and it's going to do its thing no matter what. But it can really help. Like you've even seen it with like in America, just since Trump's come in, by having like better regulation and more clarity and stuff.
It's just
whether
it's whether there'll be like, I know that Bukele is got a lot of pushback from the IMF.
Yeah,
you know, it's whether they'd be allowed to do that kind of stuff.
100%.
Or whether, I mean, it would still benefit if any politician was like, okay, well, we're not allowed to, you know, hold Bitcoin ourselves. But if there was a politician that would even say, guys, you need to all educate yourself on Bitcoin and hold some personally, like that would still benefit the public, you know.
Exactly, that's my point. But just by having someone doing that, I feel like it would be, you know, the amount of times the prime minister's on TV, and if you could just get like a 30-second thing in there, just drop a little nugget of like truth, it would just help so much. Like the amount of people that go by the word of the politicians is crazy. Like I think we still don't appreciate how many people just take their word as gospel, sort of thing, because we think that's stupid. Like, who would do that?
Yeah.
But people do. And so I think it would be, it could actually really help. It's just,
it would validate it more for some people. Yeah.
I think the truth is, though, whoever puts themselves in that kind of position is literally putting their life at risk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, is anyone actually really going to do it when they could just stack that, stay humble, and be totally fine? So it's, I don't know, just some ramblings for the end of a podcast.
Those politicians that have kind of stuck their neck out against the banks, it's never really ended that well for them, has it? I can think of a few over the years.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation whether the whole Trump thing was even real or faked or whatever, but I mean, take that as an example.
Yeah, I mean, JFK was another one. Was it Lincoln was another one that got assassinated 100 years before? He was moving away from the banks. Any kind of like Middle Eastern leader that tries to set up their own currency, they seem to get toppled. Yeah, I mean, lots.
Mm.
Have you heard that story that Hitler had one of the Rothschilds? He locked one of the Rothschilds up, who was running the bank at the time.
No way.
And he literally had a Rothschild in the jailhouse sweeping the floor for about a year. He had this have you not heard that story?
No.
Well, basically, whether it's a legend or not, I don't know, but Hitler kicked out the bankers and started his own currency, and there was a huge kind of economic resurgence in 1930s Germany, because 1920s was hyperinflation, Weimar, so the people were desperate, really. And then I think one of the reasons why he was so loved and favoured and was voted in was because he sorted the economy out, and one of the things he did was kick the bankers out. And there is an urban legend that he arrested a Rothschild and literally had him cleaning the prison floors. Let me see if I can find this on.
No, I did not know that. Previous episode, we spoke about the Bitcoin being the 6th largest currency, and I've looked into it. I believe it is. Whether this is true or not, apparently the Chinese yuan is first. I thought the dollar would 100% be first, so that's weird. At 40 trillion, US dollar 21 trillion, euro 16 trillion, Japanese yen 11 trillion, British pound 3.5 trillion, and Bitcoin 2 and a bit trillion. And then other major currencies below it. So apparently it is 6th.
So this basically says Hitler did arrest the Rothschilds in Germany in 1933, in Austria in 1938, and in France in 1940, and seized their assets. You never really know with this kind of stuff, though.
No, that's it. It will always be hidden enough, won't it?
But I'm on Wikipedia, right? And Louis Nathaniel de Rothschild. After the Anschluss of Austria to Nazi Germany in March 1938, he was arrested at the airport and held by the Nazis. He was released only after lengthy negotiations between the family and the Nazis, and upon payment of $21 million, believed to have been the largest kidnap ransom in history for any individual. While imprisoned, he was visited by Himmler. Rothschild apparently impressed the SS leader, who subsequently ordered that Rothschild's prison's conditions be improved. Despite appeals from Queen Mary of the United Kingdom and possibly the Duke of Windsor, Rothschild was held in Vienna's Hotel Metropole while the German government attempted to expropriate his business concerns. He was imprisoned at least through July 1938, and his property placed under control of a German commissioner. In his memoirs, Felix Sommery recalls that soon before the Anschluss, he phoned to the Baron repeatedly in a desperate attempt to convince him to leave Austria. The day before the Anschluss, Louis's brother, Alphonse, and his wife were visiting him from Switzerland, wanting to go back into Austria. He persuaded them to remain there and to get his children, Francesca de Rothschild and Heidi de Rothschild, away from Austria to the Netherlands. Finally allowed to leave Austria, Louis survived the Holocaust and the Second World War. So yeah, it's apparently, so he did get arrested when he was in prison. He had him like sweeping the floors and whatnot. So there we go. And the rest is history, as they say.
Exactly. It's pretty crazy though, isn't it? Like,
I mean, imagine if there was like, imagine getting what's his name? Who's the chairman of the Fed? Powell.
Mm.
Imagine getting Powell sweeping the floors in jail. That would be, or Starmer, maybe, yeah. Who knows? It would be a funny turn of events.
I guess it'd be more probably like Powell's kid or something, wouldn't it? That example, was it, or was it actually like one of the main guys? What did you say, Louis Nathaniel?
He was the son of Baron Albert Solomon Anselm von Rothschild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where were the Rothschild originally? Were they? I'm guessing they were European then. I
think it was. They were, as far as I know, the story is that there was 3 sons, and they were set up at 3 locations around Europe, and then those 3 locations became like part of the first like banking system, because people could drop deposits in one of the banks and then move to a different country, and they'd be able to pick it up from another Rothschild bank from a different country. That was the first of its kind, because those 3 banks were working country to country. I think it was like, there was one in Paris and there was one famous one. Was it like Vienna, or is it? That'll be a ChatGPT question. Yeah, it was so Mayor Amschel Rothschild had 5 sons, and the first 3 were Frankfurt, London, and Paris, and then the other 2 brothers followed after in Vienna and Naples. So between these 5 sons, they had a bank each in these different locations, and they were all linked. But again, it's hard to get like solid information on this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it. It's hard to get information from the source on anything like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So the original house was Frankfurt in the 1760s. The second house was London, financed British war efforts against Napoleon, became the global hub, which I assume is the city of London now. Third house was Paris, key in French national finance and railways. Fourth was Vienna, and the 5th was Naples. And then it's just expanded from there.
So that's why they all moved to the US then. It's because they were getting kidnapped and stuff from Nazis.
Potentially. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you were that way, if you had cash and you were Jewish, you would have bounced, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
you would have left, definitely.
Yeah, not sticking around to find out, are you?
No. There we go.
Yeah.
Should we call it a day?
Yeah.
Right then. Next chapter we've got. Oh, it's the war stuff, isn't it? Unsound money and perpetual war. That'll be a fun one.
Always fun and games. War.
Yeah, perpetual war. Right then. See you in a bit.
See ya. Bye.